I follow exactly the step. All right. I think it's a VPN. So today I'm gonna switch off my VPN and follow your step again. See what happened. Well, last week did remember I switched off the VPN. Then it works. You know,
Okay.
could I'll try this method again. I switch off the VPN and see whether it works. All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
sure.
Okay. Sure.
Dr. Raj, I have some questions from the previous session. I mean, your Friday instance. Can I ask?
Like last Fridays or this.
No, just this Friday. I was there, and later I was recalling some queries, some top level queries. It is not about the execution. The first one is when in the first session when we were instantiating a instance.
Okay.
At the time,
Computer.
we were priced at 2.34 per hour, right? But in this session, when we used a cluster, though it is one CPU and it's technically same, but a cluster is slightly heavyweight
Yes.
and with respect to management, and it was $0.34 per hour. And how is it possible? So in that sense, like, is it because of the like in the first one we did very simple thing, right? We just did a kind of a cleansing or
Simple.
whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and this time we created the entire pipeline. And why, should charge less and the variation.
Okay. So in that context, first thing might be because of you're going for cluster.
Okay.
In cluster, apart from the virtual machine, they're putting one more standby.
Hmm.
So because of two systems are being blocked for you, right?
It
They
should
start,
it should be costlier. It should not be cheaper, right?
right? So it is lesser than that.
Yes, it is lesser
Yeah.
because it's
So
0.34 instead of 2.34 per instance.
okay, that's great, now. So actually speaking, what happens is this whatever the compute you are expecting,
Uh-huh.
this cost keeps fluctuating based upon the peak demand that we have at that particular time.
Okay, okay, okay,
So it's a demand, time-based demand.
okay. And other thing, when like we have instantiated a powerful computer and we are taking a small tabular data set.
Mhm.
And why each of the operation takes so much time with that? Because if we are running in a Google Colab or whatever it is through a notepad, this pipeline would have finished in 10 seconds. But why it takes so much time sequentially in the Azure?
Okay. So this is what we too have faced, because in Colab we get it done within no time, but Azure takes time because obviously probably might be because of it's a virtual machine, so it is going for storage. Latency will also matters,
Hmm,
right?
hmm.
So it is. I cannot say exactly what is the reason, but that is with the configuration of Azure.
And essentially, the way we are creating the pipeline, the intention is that we will connect a streaming input and streaming output so that it can go, for a live data. Is that correct? My understanding?
Yes, yes, yes. We
Okay.
can.
And when we go for a live data, if such a latency is there, it will be a greater impact, right?
Yes. So in that case also, again, there will be a problem because the latency what you are seeing right now might not be there once you go with the pay as you go.
Okay. Okay.
This is student version, right? So
Okay. That could be the reason. Like we may be having a constraint on the resources.
yes, yes.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Dr. Raj.
Fine, thank you. So I think we are good to go. Only thing is I am not able to get the multiple sharing thing. Uh, is the moderator here from UpGrad? Okay, it's not there, I think. So shall we start? I think this is a good time to start. Yeah. So once again, everyone, welcome and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening as per the various time zones. So let's start our second module, right, on the recommended practice sessions, where here we'll be trying to understand what is the importance of data cleansing and what type of data transformations can be taken up by using the Azure platform, right? So this is your second session. In the sense, this is repeated for the second time. Even the same session will be repeated in the evening. So this second module has been repeated thrice, and right now we are doing the second time of repetition, right? And here we'll be trying to understand data cleansing. So for that, what I am trying to do is it's more of hands-on. So whatever we have learned previously, how to set up a Azure platform and how to get the components or building blocks in a pipeline, all those things will be coming to your rescue. So yeah, so that whatever we have learned previously will be very much useful to set up our account, and moving ahead, we can build the pipeline and see the importance of data cleansing. So in that context, what I can do is straight away I can ask, yeah, Nimesh.
Hi Raj, I am having some issues trying to log into my GGU account.
Okay.
It's not allowing me to log in, and I cannot renew my password also. Not sure if this is something that you can help me on, because I'm using my company laptop, and in the past I can share my screen to show you.
Okay. But for timing, I don't think you will be able to share.
I won't be able to share.
Check once, you give it a try.
Can you see my screen?
Uh,
So when I go here and try to log in using my GGU account.
Nimish, can you click on the triple dot on the rightmost corner and go into private mode or incognito mode?
incognito mode.
New in private
New
mode.
in private window.
Yeah, just try from there. Portal.azure.com.
Portal.azure.com, right? It says again invalid username or password.
The same problem appears to me, Nimesh. So I'm also getting into this, and I'm also not being able to get inside.
Okay, you are not able to log in, is it?
Yeah, the
Yes.
GGU account I'm not able to log in. I
Okay,
think
okay,
this
okay.
same issue happened with the BI workshop as well.
Okay,
Power
okay.
BI workshop.
Then it has nothing to do with Azure. It is
IT.
yeah, it is with the GGU IT itself.
Okay. Is there a way to reach out to IT? I have written to them like a week back, but they have not responded at all.
You can raise a common ticket, right?
Ticket can be raised
Yeah,
from
I've sent an email to this email ID, but no response.
I also mailed to them, but there was hardly any reply to last week only. And the same thing happened to me, Nimesh. I also could not complete that task of that teacher has that female teacher has told us. So yeah, the same as me. They have not replied anything on the same. So today I'm here only to see.
So Raj, anything we can do, because I know we have an assignment to be done using Azure. So I'm not sure how we can do that.
I I see, sir. Raj, I have
Okay.
asked them if you can just put me on the Zoom and can see my screen, but nothing, no reply had come on that. So there is a problem because somebody has to actually help me out in taking out, like Nimesh is showing.
So
Hi, so here. Can I just ask when is the assignment due? Because basically, like the gentleman just shared, I just got my GGU credential on Friday only because there's a delay. So I have been really falling behind. It's a lot of system I cannot get in. I have no clue. I'm just here to look. So I also want to know, like,
Yeah,
when's the assignment going to be due? Thank
same,
you.
same,
Thank you.
same.
So at least you can go through the recorded sessions and practice it once you have your GGU. Otherwise, if the GGU is not getting activated, you can try with credit card details, right? With your own Gmail account.
I just got it on Friday, like 2 days ago, like Friday afternoon. So I will try to go back to all the recording section. That's why also explains why I missed the two sessions because my account was not set up at first, and also they didn't actually like sign me in, for the two slots. So I couldn't even sign up for anything for the first and second classes. So I didn't attend.
Okay, so for you, what we can do at the end of the session, when time permits, we can help you how to set up your Azure platform with the GG credentials. Coming back to for Nimesh and Seema ma'am, what we can do is at least give like wait for another 1 or 2 days. If that's not working, so you can at least do that credit card access wala, because from your personal account you can create that and just punch in the credit card. You'll be getting the $200. You can give that try.
Okay, sir, if I can share my screen again. So I'm using my company's account. So I can access Azure using my company's account. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, yes. If your company has no problem. Otherwise, if you
Yeah.
have personal account also, personal Gmail and all, with that also you can sign in and just punch in your credit card details. It will work.
Okay, got it. I will use this one for now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Raj, I could see that the first assignment has been posted on the Upgrade portal, and it has two parts. One is the description, and the other one is the data set. The data set is not accessible. Will it be enabled after some time? It shows as locked.
Oh, if it is logged, that will be enabled for sure.
Okay,
So
okay,
once we are done with these sessions and all.
okay.
Yeah. So let's start our today's session. So for that, we need to log in. So what I will be doing is I'm sharing my screen so that I can do it parallel along with you. So please, guys, uh, be with me because we'll be doing parallelly. So I'll open a new account. So I'm opening a new browser. In the browser, I will be punching portal.azure.com. Just this one, right? So where I will be directed to the sign in page. I'll be signing in with the GG credentials, which I've already set in the last session. So after I authorize myself with the GG credentials, I must land up on this home page. So this is the home page what we have seen. We can get access to this home page by just opening a new tab, punching portal.azure.com. What we had did previously. So everyone are on this page, right? Everyone are able to sign except three cases what we have seen.
I'm on the first page, which Nimesh has showed it. So do I need to create something because I'm getting into through my official one?
Yes, you have
So
to click on the first one. Start with the
start with the Azure free trial, is it?
yes.
Okay.
Fine. So here we are. After this, what is to be done? You know it very well. How do I create the platform Azure Machine Learning? Can someone guide me?
Click on this Azure machine learning icon.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So last time, as we have done, we have got two options. The first one is because we have already accessed the Azure Machine Learning, that will be there in the Azure services. So you can straight away access from here. Otherwise, you can click on create a resource and then we can follow the previous step. Because it is readily available, I can click on Azure Machine Learning, the funnel shaped icon. So I'm clicking on it. Once you click, you will be directed to this page where you'll be asked to create, right? So click on create. So when you click on create, you'll be getting two options, new workspace or new registry. Right now I'm creating a new workspace. So click on new workspace. So this is a page we already know that we are going for a resource group creation. That is a container. I'm trying to block a container for myself, and within the container, I can deploy a number of things. So the name of the container or the resource group has to be given. So click on create new, and there I'll be giving the name of the resource group as data cleansing trial. You can give any name. No special symbols or special icons apart from underscore. That is we know. Next comes your workspace details. So I'll go for data cleansing test just to make sure that underscore is possible. I used. You can use only underscore as a special symbol or special character in the location of your workspace name or the resource group name. So any
Resource group, Raj, can be the previous one also, or do we create a new?
yeah,
Can be.
previous one can also be there, no problem. But it will be like overlapping. So always better to go for a new one. Anyway, we are trying to kill right previously.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So yeah, giving the new workspace and region by default, whatever is auto detected and leaving it as such. If at all I get any error, I'll try and do the iterations on the region selection. But for time being, I'm going with whatever is the default. Click on review plus create. And once you click on review plus create, based upon your region which have been allocated and your internet or bandwidth speed, your validation will take time. So it being Sunday, it takes time for me. Basically, I have observed that on the weekdays it's good. Weekends bit slow. Yeah. That's my personal experience. Nothing to do. Validation passed for everyone or still validating?
Yeah, I passed my side.
It's why. What's the region?
India, Central India.
Okay, Central India is faster.
Malaysia West pass.
Okay. Okay. Even for me,
Yeah, mine worked with Malaysia West as well.
okay, for me also it passed. So we are on the same page now. Fine. So once we are done with the validation passed, click on create. These things you know it because you have been doing it for the second time. And you can also might have given a trial in the previous attempts. So you might be well acquainted with these steps, I think. Again, create. Yeah. So once you click on create, you'll be getting all the dependencies deployed. So that is why you should get a message like deployment in progress. I've been directed to this page. It means that it's a bit slow. That's it.
Yeah, you have to wait. You have to wait. Yeah.
Because still it is deploying the okay. Now they have submitted the deployment. Now deployment will be in progress.
my deployment complete. So I go to resource.
Go to resources and then launch studio. Yeah.
Raj, this is Atif. I was on this page, then it said deployment complete.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't know if I think I might have clicked something and it's taken me to another page. I don't see the studio option there.
Okay. What is the exact page?
Okay, I think I
Very quickly share your screen, please.
okay, yes. Just give me a second. Okay, you have sending request.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I'm on the same page now that you are on the screen.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, that's I don't know what happened before, but
Nothing.
okay.
In between, it will take time. So it will be just landing to the right page.
Okay,
Nothing else.
thank you.
Fine. Thank you. So my deployment is done. Once deployment is completed, we'll get that information. We'll get that blue colored button, go to resource. Click on go to resource. And once you click on yes. So at the center, you have this blue color button called as Launch Studio. Click on Launch Studio. And then you will be redirected to the workspace, what we have created. From the workspace, you will be choosing the, yeah. So DC test one was the name of my workspace. So I'm landing with the workspace. Please mute yourself. Atul Sethi. Fine.
Raj, if I don't see you, I was playing around with my pipeline. Atul, you have to mute yourself, please. Atul, can you mute yourself?
Fine.
Yes, so I was playing with the pipeline after our class, and I think I might have deleted the the test that I had created. So should I, is there a quick way to regenerate it? I'm trying to.
In the workspace, you may be having that details. If you don't have, you can restart, not a problem. So did you accidentally delete that workspace?
I think I might have. I was trying to struggle with a couple of steps, so I was going back and forth. So if I deleted it, what do I do here to, I have to go, I'm trying to remember.
Just go back and then click on the create new workspace and punch in the basic details.
Okay.
Anyway, it will be there because once you click on that, you'll have your workspace if it is not deleted. So please, everyone, give a try here and there. That's good because you need to explore it. It's more of we're being acquainted with the platform. Go back. So rest all are here in the workspace. So on the extreme left-hand side, you have a designer option. Click on designer. Right? If at all by mistake you forget anything, it will be there under these components and all. So when you click on designer, you'll be having this option to create the pipeline using the basic or the custom design. So I'm going with the classic classic pre-built components, right? So I'll be clicking on plus icon. When I click on plus icon, I will be redirected to the page where I can start building my new pipeline. So for you may get 3 sections. For me, I got only two sections on the screen. this is leftmost the workspace details and the empty Canva about my pipeline, where I'm trying to create the pipeline by using the default components or the blocks. So I didn't get a third section, right? Did you people get a third section? Or your screen is divided split in three sections, or
Yeah.
just two?
Three sections.
Three sections, right?
I think this is the one, right? We need
Yes.
to.
Yes. For those who didn't get that other section is because of it has been hidden. So you can click on this double arrow and you'll be getting the three sections on your screen. And under this, previously we have used that sample data. We'll use the same sample data and try to understand what is the importance of data cleansing, right? So whatever we had done previously. So expand the sample data, and there will be 20 samples data. Out of that one, I will be using the first sample data called as adult census income binary classification data set, right? I'll just use this. So drag and drop it in the Canva. You'll be able to access this data set. Fine. So this is what we have done previously also. So let us try to understand what exactly are we going to do in this particular session. So before I take you to the pipeline creation, I wanted to make you understand. By this time, I think, okay, Power BI classes happened, right? You're done with the Power BI hands-on?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
Parts here and there, but mostly yes.
yeah, we did.
Ah,
I think 70-75%. The class could not be complete at that time.
okay. So in that context, I can assume that you know what is the data and all those things. So very quickly, I'll have a recap of the basics, what is required, right? So in this context, what is the data for you? How do you define data? Yes. Anyone
It's
can
a
take?
fact. It's a fact, basically. It's
Yes. How about information?
A pattern, maybe we try to find some kind of a pattern out of data on X and Y axis to
Yes.
form some kind of understanding of the fact that what are the, the points coming out or filtering out of the data.
Yes, yes. Very rightly said. That's what my understanding is also with reference to this. So, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yep.
You can see what is data. Is it the one?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, as we have rightly said, what is data? Data is nothing but it's a raw fact, right? Which is in the form of numbers, figures, audio, video, right? But these facts becomes an information when we try to get some relation out of it, or we can try to understand in what context this particular facts were used. For example, if I say I'm using $20, right? So what is $20? For what it is used, right? So when I say dollars, I can at least understand that, okay, I'm talking about currency. But if I say just 20, 20, so 20 is what? 20 becomes a data. And with that, if I extend that, I have used $20 to purchase chocolates. So I get to know the context that, okay, this particular 20 means it has been used for it has been used for transaction for towards chocolate. So that's how, if at all, you can get some insights out of that particular numbers and get the context in which it is being taught, that becomes an information. So by here, my intent is every information is not a data, right? The data can become an information if at all you can get fruitful context in which it is being used. Now, when we talk about data, as we might have talked about it. So the data can be classified into three types: structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. So structured data is one which is in the form of rows and columns, which can be arranged in the table. And when you talk about the extension, The CSV data, Excel data are the examples of structured data. Unstructured data is nothing but the data which is in the form of images, audio, video, text are called as unstructured data. They don't have a proper schema, right? So to work on it, it becomes a bit difficult. So if at all you have a text document or doc document or HTML document or MP3, MP4 extensions or PNG extensions, JPG, all this type of data are unstructured data. Then comes semi-structured data. Your XML data, PDF data, JSON data becomes your semi-structured data. In this semi-structured data, if I can give the example of email. For example, from the subject of the email, I get to know what is the context in which this email has been written. But I don't know the entire in and out of the email because I don't know the body and that thing. I cannot understand the entire body of the email. So that becomes your semi-structure because from the subject, it becomes a structured. From the body of the email, it becomes unstructured. So that's what you can say that there is a mix and match of structure and structure, and it is called as semi-structured data. So you might have gone through it. You might have understood this because when you are working with Power BI, right? So did you people work on the structured data, unstructured data?
Structured.
Yes, we did touch base upon this.
So fine. So in the Power BI exercise, we worked on the structured data. Moving ahead in your machine learning classes also, you will be doing your activity or assignments on the structured data, right? Where when you move towards the deep learning, where you'll be trying to image classification or trying to analyze the text and all, there you will be using the unstructured data. So the extension of machine learning is deep learning. So right, in the deep learning, we'll be using the unstructured data. And semi-structured data is like mix and match where you want to analyze for the NLP activities and all those things. So this is what we have with reference to how the data can be classified. Then in the today's context, when I say that data is important for me, so I know that if at all I'm building some application, I'll be able to I will be able to generate data from the various resources. Like if at all I have IoT devices, so from the sensors I can get the data. I can analyze the data and give the real-time feedback, like how your environment has to get changed. So in that case, if at all when I'm trying to collect the data from the sensors, one or the other sensors sometimes may go wrong. So in that context, your data will not be retrieved or you won't be able to access the data. So what happens, for a particular time, I will not be getting the data. So that becomes a dirty data, right? If at all your data is not available, if it is missing, it's a dirty data. If at all the data what you are taking, if that doesn't have a proper format, then it becomes a dirty data. So basically, collection of data from the source is always a dirty data or raw data. We cannot have a clean data or clean data from the source itself. So only we are saying when you go for any project, right? So 70 to 80% of the project will involve data cleansing. Data cleansing is such a hectic job. Now, in this case, the raw data is also called as dirty data. And in the context of structured data, what are the dirty data looks like? This is a glimpse. So you can see very clearly that the first attribute what we have under name, right? Rohan Gupta. So it's a camel case with R being captured, other being lowercase, and then G lowercase, UPTA being capital. So let us say if this is the entry of a Rohan Gupta, and the second time the Rohan Gupta pops up with all R capital, G capital, all lowercase. So it is the same person I'm talking about, but the fonts but the way it is written is different. If that's the case, machine will not understand that you're talking about the same person. So here we need to talk about the case sensitive also. So case if at all you look for Python or any of the programming languages, they are generally case sensitive because they have been thought for a particular case, particular type to remember as a one variable. If at all the type is changing, the variable has to be changed. So in that context, what happens is, if at all you're storing something like this is inconsistent. So this becomes a dirty data. If at all you look for gender, so in the gender, from your understanding, how many classes do you have? How many labels we have? Yes.
Labels as in headers on the top. Male
Under, under gender, how many labels we have?
and female, MF, like that, right? That's
Yes,
what
yes.
Yeah.
So only two, right? Male and female?
Yeah, there's F also, which we can change, but right now it's showing as F.
Yes. So actually, in the real context, the gender has only two labels here, male and female. But based upon the way you have written or put the data, the system will take n number of classes within gender. It will take M capital ALE as one gender, all caps MALE as second gender, MLE with A missing as third gender, right? All lowercase male as the fourth gender, and fifth, so lowercase m ALE as the fifth gender. So within the male label itself, I got 5 different labels, right? So this is what called as dirty data, because it has to be consistent throughout. Then only it will take it as a one label within the particular gender. If you change the type, font, right, automatically it will taken as other variable, other class. So that is not happening, because actually my intention was to make sure that gender has only got two labels, that is male and female. But because of typo error, because of inconsistencies in writing the labels, these things has occurred. So I need to rectify that. That is the importance of data cleansing. Otherwise, it will take each class as a different entity. Next, in the context of age, do we find any inconsistencies? Is the data right? Is the data seems to be right? Or do we have any inconsistency or something?
200, Sanya Mehra, 123 years for Robert Taylor. It doesn't look to be okay.
Yes. So probably it was like Robert Taylor, whose age might be just 23. And it might be a typo error. We have put one before. So 123, actually speaking, not possible, because you cannot expect that such a lifespan, right? 123, 200. So obviously these are some typo errors which crept into my data. So I need to work on it, because my sense says that it is really an outlier. It is not possible. So I need to remove that. So this system will not understand unless you make it on your own. So that's what cleansing has to happen with the manual intervention. Next, coming to your date of birth, if at all you see in the date of birth also, if at all I'm talking about the latest data set, I cannot have a person whose date of birth is 1824, right? So obviously this is a mistake I need to rectify, and I need to see that all the DOB are in the same format. Next, in case of qualification, uh, for Pooja Tiwari and Raj, there is no information about the qualification. So I cannot take that particular record forward. So I need to think, should I put some random qualification for Raj and Pooja Tiwari, or should I delete the entire record of Raj and Pooja? So if I remove the entire record, I'll be losing their information, right? If I operate on it, how to operate, how to manipulate the qualification of Raj and Pooja Tiwari also becomes a call. So that is what we need to understand in the context of data cleansing. So this is what we have with reference to how does a raw data looks like, and what are the inconsistencies possible within a raw data. So this is what we have done. So did you operate on how to clean the how to clean the data in Power BI? Yes?
Yes.
So just you might have seen, right? If at all this is the case, we are putting in Power BI. So you can just go to gender and you can see the inconsistencies and you can replace it. So that's what is happening. So that is how we try to replace and do the corrections by using the appropriate tools. So this is what the importance of raw data. Raw data can be made as a clean data, and out of clean data, you can make the businesses. And when you talk about the structured data has this type of inconsistencies which always be taken, which needs to be taken care of, like removing the redundant data, fixing the data types, correcting the inconsistencies, bringing everything on the normal scale, filling the missing values, trying to identify the outliers, and all those things. In the same way, when we are trying to capture the deep learning activities where we are trying to process the images, even in images also, all everything will not be as per the format. Even in that case also, I need to go for the data cleansing. So in that case, I will be trying to remove the duplicate images. I'll be resizing the images. I will be trying to orient the images. So all this type becomes a data cleansing in the case of deep learning activities. Similarly, when we are moving ahead for the generative AI, when we are talking about NLP activities, we'll be also having some or the other cleansing operation in that case also, where we'll be looking for stemming, lemmatization, removing the numbers, making sure that lowercase is not happening, duplicates are not there. So here this particular slide is telling you what are the different types of cleansing operations can be possible on different types of data, right? Moving, because you guys already have a basic idea, I'm going a bit fast. If at all I need to slow down, please let me know. Right?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Please.
Who does is this? I've heard these data analyst, data engineer, data scientist. So which one of those three does this job? Is it data analyst?
Okay. So data analyst is there, right? So data analyst will try to get the data. Apart from that, he will also try to see what are the fruitful relations they can try to understand, and then they will be passing on to the ML engineers, right?
Okay.
So basically, when you go for any job, data analysis, right? Data analyst will be like doing the mix of both the jobs. For the foremost task will be to collect the data and clean the data, right? And the second task will be to get the meaningful insights out of the data. Once they are done, they will be just passing on to the ML engineers, where they will be taking it further and building the models and predicting the future things. So in this context, as you rightly said, we have a data analytics in play. So data analytics is nothing but they will be using some statistical methods, right? And technologies and practices to analyze the historical data and try to get the insights out of the data. Insights in the sense your conclusions, as well as you need to understand, if at all I'm talking about two variables, what is the possibility of with these two being related strongly or weakly and all. So we'll try to understand in and out the bondingness between the variables and the outcome of that particular variables. So that is what we'll try to get the meaningful insights out of the historical data. That's the major role of your data analytics. So based upon what tool you are using, what business you are trying to capture, right? This type of data analytics can be classified further into 5 different types. Basically, four are the major different distincts, right? So those different types of data analytics are nothing but descriptive analytics, diagnostic, prescriptive, and predictive. So these are the 4 different types of data analytics which can be taken up, right? Based upon what exactly is your business. Are you into the business of consultancy? Are you in the business of developing a product? Are you in the business of just trying to analyze the data? So based upon what exactly is your business, you can just put a restriction to yourself, like which type of data analytics you want to use. But basically, when you go for descriptive says that what is happening in your business. So you can get the in and out of your present status of your business by doing the descriptive analysis, right? And next comes diagnostic. So if at all you wanted to understand if at all I'm seeing that I am incurring a loss, So I wanted to dig the reason for it, why this loss has occurred, right? What are the probable reasons for this? So that is possible by going for the diagnostic analysis. So once you know that this is happening because of this, if at all this continues further, how much loss I need to incur further, that can be understood by going for the predictive analytics. Or in the predictive analytics, I can also try to understand, okay, if this is my present status where loss is happening, how what are the things I can do to make it move towards positive or making profit. Next comes prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics is something like what strategies I need to take into account to make sure that I'm moving towards the profit from the negative, from the losses. So these are like different types of data analytics which are in place. Apart from that, we have also the latest one, which is called as, anyone, any idea? Have you heard of these 4 different types of analytics? Yes?
Cognitive analytics.
Yep, very rightly said. So the latest one is cognitive analytics. Cognitive analytics is nothing but with the era of AI. We are trying to bind AI and data analytics and get the things automated. So that is your cognitive analytics. So basically, I said there are 4 different types, and with the invent of this one, fifth one also, we can say that okay, 5 different types of data analytics is possible in the present case. So just to put it on, this is again basic things like what techniques can be used for trying to do the different types of analytics. So if you're looking for descriptive analytics, you will be looking for data aggregation, data mining, and data visualizations, right? When you go for diagnostic analytics, even in that, we can go for the drill down access and try to understand what are the probable root causes for my particular business to be in this present state. And then I can go for predictive analytics where I can use the machine learning models, right, to analyze how can I improve it further or what would be the future look like. Then I can go for prescriptive analytics where I can try to understand, okay, I'm trying to get the profits and how can I get the better profits. I can optimize my strategies by using the prescriptive analytics. And then comes cognitive analytics where I can automate the entire process by putting it in the automation loop. That becomes your cognitive analytics. So this is the basics of your data analytics. Any questions so far?
Yes. What is this cognitive? Can you just little give some example how we can utilize that? Supposingly, there is a PNL has come in. So, okay, after the data mining first step, they have come out with some kind of PNL, and comes to the second point. You're saying it is what predictive. So, what are the data point that analysis looks like? And then it comes to be predictive के बाद क्या था? What is that?
Prescriptive.
Prescriptive. So it is like how we can actually optimize further. Maybe the next quarter the things would look different. And what is the role of cognitive in this?
In the cognitive, let us say I have developed a particular platform like your Zomato or something. So how the platform is doing, I need not I need not do the manual intervention. There I can try to have a AI tool which can see the all the post and they can analyze the then and there based upon the comments. So I can use the your sentiment analysis. I can use your NLP tasks to understand how are the feedbacks. Based upon the feedback, I can analyze how better my UI UX is. So previously, for understanding my user UI or UX, what I used to do is I used to go for the 2 types of launches. First, I used to go for in-house launch, try to understand understand how the platform is doing, get the feedback from inside people, and then I used to put it in the market. And again in the market, I used to wait for another 3 months to understand how my particular UI is doing. Right, that was happening before. But now what happens is this time has squeezed on with an AI tools. So what happens is in the web page, in the UI itself, I can have one of the AI tools which try to monitor your number of clicks, your number of times you are visiting the page, and all these things it is doing and analyzing the things. Apart from that, whatever the feedback you are giving on the comment on the UI, it is also being recorded. So it is doing that analysis and giving me how is the UI UX doing in the real-time market. So there,
Can
what
I
happens?
sorry, can I understand from this, as you says, ki after the feedback, I do the analysis and give it back to maybe the prescriptive one or the predictive one to give some more points to enhance the activity. Is it happen like this? It's a
Yes,
circle.
yes. So it is going in the loop. So automatically it is taking the call what it has to do to improve it further. Did that make sense? You know, ma'am?
Yes, of course. That's why we get to know a lot of feedback.
Yes. So that is what the cognitive analytics is basically. And with the advent of AI, this is making a major role of upgrading the business, and the business experience is like becoming seamless to get that in and out of your business then and there. Previously, we used to wait so much time. We used to invest time and understand how it is doing. Now we can get to know its trajectories very easily. So this is what different types of data analytics is there. That's what I said, based upon what exactly is your content, right? Yeah, and intent, you can do it. I can choose the appropriate tools. Now, in this context, I can get a doubt that I'm using Power BI also. I will be using the Azure platform also. So where does this fits? So what is the limitation of Power BI? I need to understand. We are using Power BI only for doing which type of analytics?
I think you were beginning to answer my question. I was going to ask that what we're going to do with the data, would that impact how we clean it? I think that's where you were heading now.
Yeah, so that's what, the better we clean, the better model we can build. But when we are using Power BI, so using Power BI, which type of analytics I can do? Can I do cognitive analytics using Power BI? Can I do predictive analytics using Power BI?
I think Power BI will be limited to descriptive only because, yeah.
Yes. So there we need to understand, based upon what tools we are using, we do have the limitations. Right now we will be using the data cleansing and then take it forward for the predictive analytics. So that's what we are trying to do. But using Power BI, I have a limitation. Power BI can be used for descriptive analytics and to some extent diagnostic analytics. But Power BI or Excel as such cannot be used for predictive analytics and the prescriptive analytics and moving ahead. So they are limited to only descriptive and diagnostic. Why diagnostic? Because there you have the drill down option in the Power BI where we can try to understand how are we doing with reference to sales. For example, I can see the sales yearly wise. I can try to analyze the sales quarterly wise. I can see it daily wise. I can do it hourly wise. So I can try to drill down further, right? That provision is possible in the Power BI. So I said to some extent, Power BI can also be used to analyze, to understand the root causes of particular pattern being observed. But basically, it is used for your descriptive analytics to understand your relations between your data by going for visualizations. Right? So this is what, it's nothing but you're just trying to explore the different types of tools which can be used in each context. So I'm using descriptive analytics. I can do diagnostic analytics using Excel, Power BI, or Azure. Then I can do the predictive analytics by using your ML techniques, which is available in the Azure. I can go for prescriptive analytics in the Azure. I can go for cognitive analytics also in the Azure by bringing in the Gen AI tools. Right. So if at all you want to go for the predictive, prescriptive, and cognitive, you can use the advanced platforms like clouds, right, to make the things happen and automate it. That's fine. That's it. That's what the understanding we need to have with reference to data analytics. Here, when we talked about data, we should also know what are the different types of data, and I know you people know it very well. So what different types of data you have come across?
Numeric and categorical.
Yes, very rightly said. So that's what we will be again touching these points, but you know it very well. You might have also seen these slides in your theoretical classes. Did people see this?
No, not yet.
Okay, fine. So, fine. Based upon the cohort to cohort, one cohort might have seen this. Leave it. So here, my intention is to make you understand that whatever the data we are talking about, the data can be of two types: numeric data and categorical data. The slide what you are seeing is an indication of how does a numerical data looks like, what is the categorical data. So when I say 18 kgs or 27 kgs of weight of gold coins, so it is specifying the numbers or the magnitude, right? Higher the magnitude, higher the relations. I know I can get some understanding out of it. That's your numeric data. Then on the right hand side, you can see the jersey number of Ajinkya. Now it is written as 27. So what is it? Is it numeric data or categorical data? 27.
7 is numeric.
Categorical.
Okay. So when I say 27, by seeing 27, I may feel that it is numeric data. But right now, the 27 is not giving me any understanding of what exactly it is. For example, when I say 18 kgs, so I understood that it is weight, which is weighed in the kilograms. When I say 27 kgs, so I can have clear-cut understanding that, okay, 27 kgs is greater than 18 kgs. That math I can understand, that concept I can understand. But when I say Ajinkya's t-shirt number is 27, Virat Kohli's t-shirt number is 18, so can I compare them based upon the t-shirt size or t-shirt numbers? No, not possible, right? So I say that those are nothing but they are categorical data. They are just a numbers assigned to a particular entity. It has got no relevance with the magnitude. So that becomes a categorical data, right? Again, further, this data can be split into nominal data and ordinal data. So categories, if at all there is no hierarchies, right, between the data, that is called as nominal data. For example, when I say employee ID, so if my employee ID is number is 1, your employee ID is 2. So do we compare? Do I say my employee ID is superior to yours? No. So there, if at all you will feel that there is no hierarchy, no some sort of comparison possible, that is your nominal data, right? If at all you have some hierarchy within the categorical data, it is called as ordinal data. For example, movie ratings or top 50 Fortune companies, right? So they have, like, when I say Fortune for Fortune top company, Fortune second top country, Fortune third top country, so 1, 2, 3. It doesn't mean that it is like 1, 2, 3. I can do some operations on it and get some meaningful idea. It's not possible. One, in the sense, it is saying that, okay, one is superior to two, 3 is inferior to two. Only that concept, the comparison I can do, but I cannot understand anything like what is the effect on other Fortune rankings and all. So those, if at all, I can see some sort of comparative uh, degree possible within a categorical data, it becomes an ordinal data. Moving ahead, this is the example of your movie ratings. So numeric data is nothing but, again, this numeric data can be of two types. One is discrete, other is continuous. So discrete is nothing but the one which you can count, and continuous is one which you can measure. So this is what the understanding with reference to your data is. For example, if at all I say number of iPods sold, sorry. So the number cannot be 1.5, right? iPads cannot be 1.5. It's just one. It can be one iPod, two iPod, three iPod. It's not possible to have 1.5 and all. So that becomes a discrete data, right? Next, when I say height, so my height can be like 161.2 centimeters, like that, or 5 feet 4 inches. So where your decimals comes into play, right? Where it is measurable, it becomes your continuous data. So this is what, with reference to your different data types, we have already talked about it. But basically, numeric data is very easy to understand because it can be either discrete or continuous, where we need to understand whether decimals are possible in a particular concept or not. When I say, let us say I have number of vehicles purchased. So can I say I have purchased 2.5 vehicles? Can I say that? I'm owner of 2.5.
No.
It's not possible. I cannot have 2.5 cars. So it is a wrong understanding. So it's very clear that, okay, you're talking about your discrete data. So either it needs to be 2 or 3. In between, it's not possible. But if I say something like weight, so my weight is like 60 kgs and 25 grams. So there's a possibility of taking the continuous values or unit, subunit within the particular component. So if that's the case, that becomes your continuous data, right? So hope you have understood these things, and we have already done this because we have processed the Power BI, so we might be familiar with the data types, right? Yes or no? We are familiar, right? Just to understand how better we are know. Can someone tell me what is the answer for this? Time between customer arrivals at a retail outlet. Which type of data it is?
Continuous?
Yes. Everyone? One.
Yep. Continuous data.
Continuous.
Yes, because we are talking about the time here. Next, this one.
Discrete.
Right. So because we know the data types, it's very easy to understand because here we are talking about the number of customers. So this is what just example of how better we have understood the concept of discrete and continuous. Last one, can we answer it? Continuous or discrete?
Discrete.
Yeah, that's it. So this is our understanding we need to have with reference to data, different types of data, and what we can do with the data. And what is the, now we have understood that data cleansing is important. But how that cleansing is possible? We can do it by using the Azure. So let's move back to the platform. So let's come back. Fine. So right now we are here. Now I give an open offer. Do we want to break for 10 minutes now, or do we want to break at the time of compute? When we want to break? Hello? Am I audible?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
Shall we take a break of 10 minutes now, or should we take break at the time of compute instance? Because when we ask for compute, automatically we take 10 minutes for processing, right? So that time we can break. Which one is good and feasible? Now or later?
I think now we should.
Now better, yeah, because at the time of compute there might be doubts or something, right? So
Okay, fine. So in that
that
context,
some people may get stuck during that phase, right? So we can take it now.
fine. So right now it's 12:05 IST. We'll be back by 12:15, right? So in the meantime, everyone please try to be on this page where you are trying to put in the data set in the empty Canva. So let's break. I'll be back by 12:15, 10 minutes break.
But I share my screen to you on the errors that I encountered yesterday. Yeah. It's very
Yes.
strange. Just share my screen. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
You see, I have a screen save the error. It's always this. You see, if we in the overall picture, then you in the split data also got error. We haven't analyzed anything, then here also error, then the rest follow, I believe. But this one, something is strange, right? Remove duplicate rows. So this is the errors that I always encounter. But this one, it's very strange. Why there's error? Unless the data in this data sets, there's some error there, right? Or what?
No, no, no. This error, if at all you see the log of it, log, right click.
I've deleted off already. I just quit because the losses I did all, so could not go back to the result. So today we are going to go through again. So I hopefully this error not appear again.
There's possibility. No, in this context, whatever the errors we got, right? Those errors are because of runtime. You are not able to connect to the server. Because see, these two are different models. So first,
Right.
in model one, the first process is to be remove the duplicates. So it tried to get that particular access to that particular component. It failed. It is not able to get the data.
It's
Right?
a runtime error.
It's runtime. Parallelly, it is also doing this second module, second branch. In the second branch, the first one is split. So only it was not
Okay, I
happening.
understand.
And whatever you can
Yeah.
see that two class, right? Two class is a framework which will also auto run. And even there also it is not getting the compute. So these are the three places where it is trying to initiate the run process. And it's not getting the appropriate source to process.
So basically error occur because of
Runtime.
runtime. So
Yes.
yeah, today, as I mentioned, I switching off the VPN. So hopefully it will run.
Yes, yes. Hope for this.
All right.
Fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
I take a break. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. So are we good to go?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. So this is my data set. So just let's try to understand, because anyway last time also we are seeing this data set. So on a peripheral level, again, let's check it. So how do you understand what is there in that data set all about? How do I understand this data? How can I get the details of this data set?
I think right click and preview.
Yes. Right click, preview data. So you can get to know what and all is there within this particular data set. Now, if you see, these are the different rows and columns which are there. So this is a data set consisting of 32,561 rows with 15 columns, right? The rows are nothing but entries or the records or the tuples. The columns are nothing but the features or the attributes, right? So out of this, the Azure ML provides you the flexibility to get the stats. So when you hover around each and every column, so you'll get to know the distribution of the data of the particular column. So if at all I hover around age, right? So I get to know that, okay, the minimum age is that minimum age is 17, maximum age is 90, and there are no missing values, right? So I like this, I can hover around each and every column to understand whether this particular data set is neat or not. So just try to understand your data, and let me ask this question. Whatever the data set you are seeing, is it a dirty data or clean data?
This looks like clean data.
Okay. So clean data from the context of consistencies while having the entries, that's fine. But still, is it a clean data or not? We can also try to understand with respect to, do we have missing values in this data set or not? Right? So do we have any missing values? Age, when I hover around age, I got to know that missing value is 0. Good, no missing values. Work class, do we have missing values in the work class?
Yes.
Yeah, 1836 values are missing, right? So this is not a clean data. Still, it is a dirty data or raw data, where work class has some missing values. Final wage, no missing values. Education, no missing values. Education number, no missing values. Now, try to understand what is this education and education number. How are they related to each other? See, for education, let us say bachelor's, they
Yes.
have assigned a particular number called as 13. Had it been 11th grade, it is 7. So it is nothing but education is a categorical data, right? In that they have got many number of entries or labels. So they have given some numbers for each and every category. So for bachelor's, they gave 13. For HS grade, they have given 9. So this is nothing but just encoding. This is a label encoding of your categorical data, right? So education and education numbers are related to each other. They are just assigning some numbers to each type of education within the education column, right? But anyway, whether it is education or education number, it's a clean data, right? Here clean, here occupation, missing values are there. Relationship, race, sex, capital gain, all are seems to be good as such. So try to understand which are the columns you have the missing values, right? By hovering around it and getting to know the stats of it, right? So even in the native country, we have the missing values. Income, there's no missing values. Fine. So this is what just clear understanding about my data in and out, nothing else. To understand whether it's a clean data or dirty data. So my understanding goes like state is a dirty data which needs some intervention to make it clean. That's fine. Now that's the one point. The second point, try to understand with the given data what exactly I'm trying to do. What exactly I wanted to do with this data. So for today's context, I'm trying to understand what is the importance of data cleansing. So that I'll be doing anyway. Where there is a missing values, I'll try to make it clean, right? But overall, what is the purpose of this data set? From this data set, what can I do? You need to understand. So if at all you have seen, the name of the data set is Adult Census Income Binary Classification. So the main aim of this data set is to classify the people into two labels, whether their income is less than or equal to 50K or greater than 50K. So they are trying to put their records in either of the buckets. So if at all it's preview data, I'll understand. So these are your columns, which are called as features, right? And in this, if at all you can see the last column, right? The last column called as income. This is your feed target. So basically, out of this entire data sets, entire data points, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand, given the feature of all other columns, I want to understand whether the particular person is earning less than or equal to 50K dollars or greater than 50K dollars. So the particular person is coming in which bucket is my intention is here. So the entire, if at all you try to build a model, you'll be trying to build a model to understand who are the people who are getting more than 50K and who are the people who are getting less than or equal to 50K. So that's the classification job. Is it okay? So that is what the main purpose is. And in this, the income is called as target. Now you can ask me, which is the target? Is the income needs to be the only target, or can I change my target? Yes, you can ask that question, right? Based upon your understanding. So the answer to this is, for the given data set, I said based on income, I will be operating and I'll be going for the classification model. Even I have the flexibility to change my target. I can say that my target or the label is to find out how many working hours I need to put to earn more than 50K. So I can even make this as my target. So when I make this as target, you can see your entries are nothing but numeric. So here I'll be able to predict how many hours I need to put to earn more than 50K or less than 50K. So your output will be in terms of numbers. So there here I will be building some other model called as a regression model, right? So if based upon what is your target, if the target is categorical, what type of models I can build? If the target is categorical, what type of models I can build? If the target is numerical, what type of models I can build? All this understanding you will be gaining in the due course in machine learning theory and lab, right? For time being, my intention is to put it here that it's not fixed that every last column is a target column. You can choose any column as your target, and accordingly you have to build the model, right, based upon the data type in the target. But for time being, for today's class, for this particular session, I will be taking income as my target. That's it. Now, when I have explored my data set, I understood that there are some missing values. So I have to operate on the missing values. Apart from just looking at the missing values, I need to check whether do we have any duplicate entries or not, right? So to remove the duplicate entries, we have a building block called as remove duplicates. So in this search bar, type remove. Automatically, this options pops up. Out of this, remove duplicate rows is the block or the component which has to be brought into the workspace. Everyone here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you for the confirmation. So the next block, what I'm using here is remove duplicate rows. Now I'm connecting this second block from to the first block by using the node. So I've connected. Even after connecting, I see that this caution symbol is still there. The caution symbol is an indication that some input it is required, which I haven't provided yet. So it is seeking some input. A value is required. That's what it is saying. So to give the value, double tap on the remove duplicate rows. So this page will pops up. Then it is asking, please give me the key column selection filter expression. So tell me which columns I need to search for to find out the duplicate rows. So to give that, I go on, click edit column. When I go on click on edit column, obviously I'll be getting here two options. I can give those columns on which it has to go and seek for the duplicate entries either by with rules or by name. So when I go with rules, I can include by this type of rules like column names, column indices, types, all columns, all features, all labels, all scores. So I can use this rule to select the duplicate rows. Otherwise, I can use this particular by name. Is it okay? So it is up to you which one you feel easy for the selection of the duplicate rows. You can go ahead with. Now, when I go with this, do I know what are the rows which we have a duplicate in? I don't know, right? In age, do we have duplicate or column do we have duplicate? So in this context, with rules will be more helpful. So I'll be going that seek the columns for identifying the duplicate by going with all columns, all features. I'll go with all columns. Right. So you can ask me what is the difference between all columns and all features? Because this is the question which was asked in the previous session, so only I am putting forward. So I can choose all features also, right? Not a problem. So what is the difference between all features, all columns? Anyone? All features. Features are nothing but excluding the target. All columns including the target. Labels is nothing but targets.
No, can you explain this one a little bit? Excluding or including the target?
When I say all columns, it will include all the 15 columns. When I say all features, it will include all the 14 features excluding the target. The target was income here, right? So it will be selecting only the 14 features. When I say all labels, it will choose only the target. So I'll close. I'll go back, preview data. This is my data, right? So age, work class, final weight, education, education number, all these are called as features, right? All these are features. Income is a target. So if I say all features till your native country, all 14 features will be selected. When I give all columns, it will select all the 15 columns. It will not do any partiality between features and target. When I say labels, the other name for target is labels, right? So when I say labels, only this column will be selected.
But where have you specified that income is a target?
Yes, very rightly said. So far, I haven't specified that income is the target. Moving ahead, I'll be doing it. But for time being, I already have in my mind that this is my target, which needs to be going ahead, I need to specify. So far, I haven't done that. It's okay. Yeah.
What about scores?
Yes.
There is something called scores also.
Okay. So all scores is also one of the common once you get the output. So if at all you have something like what do you say, feature scale feature, like the concept of dimensional reduction, PCA and all, like feature engineering. If at all you are doing some feature engineering, you are getting some particular feature. If at all you want to choose that feature, you can go with all scores. Right? That is with reference to PCA dimensionality reductions, or with reference to once you get the output, from there you will be getting something called as probability scores. Right? So once your pipeline has run, there you will be getting the scores. If at all you want to choose that particular column, all scores will come into picture. This will see. Once the pipeline runs, then only all scores will be enabled. Yes? We'll see the
Okay.
scores. We'll see the scores for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. For time being, what I'm doing is, because you got the understanding about features, columns, labels. Right now, I don't have any income type as a target, so I'll say all columns. You go and search all the columns and look for the duplicates. Okay. So I'm here giving all columns as the column to be selected for removing the duplicates. And then comes retain first duplicate row. Yeah, whenever you find that two rows have been duplicated, so instead of removing all the two rows, you retain the first row. So I'll be having true, right? So these are the only settings what I'm giving in the remove duplicate rows entries. I'm closing it. So here I am trying to remove the duplicates. Done. Once duplicates are removed, what I can do is I can go with cleansing, because I found that there are missing values. So to clean the missing values, I need to have one block for cleaning. That is not what clean missing data. So in the search bar, when you just type CLEAN, automatically this suggestions comes. So out of it, choose clean missing data. Right? Once you get that clean missing data, connect that clean missing data to the remove duplicate rows node. So establish the connection between each and every component. Even though I have given that particular connection, again, caution is there. So let's try to cater the caution. Double click on the clean missing data. When you double click, it is saying that please give me the columns to be cleaned. It is seeking for the information on the columns which needs cleansing operation. So click on edit column and tell which columns it has to work upon for cleaning. So here I can use by rules or by name. So because I have gone through my data set and I know that I have missing values in 3 columns, right? So I can specify those columns by choosing by name. Otherwise, I can ask the machine only to go and seek every feature and then identify which are the columns having the missing values. So it's your call how you want to do. So here I can say, what are the columns to be clean?
Sorry, Professor, by name is not enabled. So how would I do that, even if I know the names?
Yes, very good. That's what I expected. So here, if you see, you want to cut down the computation, you can specify what are the columns which needs to be cleaned. So in that, I can go with by name. So for timing, I don't get it by name enabled. Just to enable, I play this tweak. Please try to understand. So I'll just close it here. What I'll do is, because by name is not enabled, to make it enable, first I'll disconnect this connection and I give the connection directly from the data and then give a double tap, click on edit column and see. Now by name is enabled. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
that by name didn't enable because I didn't run my pipeline, right? So data didn't come to the second component. From second component, I asked me to come to third component. So its by name is not there. Just to get for selection purpose, I can use this. I can straight away connect from the first data source and do the selections, and then I can again connect it back. I'll do that. So here, but if I'm choosing by name, what are the columns which needs to be clean? Work class? Yes. So I'll be adding work class. Next, occupation.
Yes.
And then native country. Right? Based upon my understanding from the data, I got to know that these are the three columns which has missing values. So I wanted to operate on these things. So for that, I can choose like this. So out of available columns, these three columns only will be selected. So click on save. And you can see that the columns to be clean will be populated with work class, occupation, and native country. Is it okay? Now, once you are done with this, I will be closing it, and I will remove this connection because the connection has to come from the second component. Just for selection purpose, I have done the small tweak. Otherwise, it will be like I need to make it very clear how the components has to flow from one to other. So when I click here, you can see that columns to be clean, whatever the entries are given, it is there. So this is one way, right? To make life simpler, what I'll do is, I'm not worried about computation now. I'll be going with double tap, edit column, and I don't want to go with by name. What I can do is, I can delete this, right? And I can say straight away say, you go and look for all the columns. Save. Is it okay? So there are two ways how you want to take it forward. It's your call. If at all you want to cut down the computation, you can give the name of the each columns where you have identified the missing values. Or if at all you want that columns to be identified by the machine itself, you say all columns. Right? So that's what I'm understanding. Minimum value is 0, maximum value is 1. That I will be retaining it as such. And then I will be going for the cleaning mode. So what is the cleaning mode possible is nothing but I can go for some customization cleaning where I can substitute some random value, or I can replace with mean, median, mode, or I can remove the entire row wherever there's a missing value in a particular feature, or I can remove the entire column. So these are the 6 different mechanisms possible to clean the missing values. Now, which one shall we use? Which one shall we use? I'll be using this remove entire row to make life easy. Otherwise, when do we use mean, median, mode, we need to understand. So I can see, guys, if at all I want to operate a particular feature separately, I can bring in this clean missing data n number of times in the pipeline. That's not a problem. Right? I can cater each column specifically how I want to clean it. Now, if at all, let us say I have categorical features. So categorical features can be replaced with mode. If at all I don't want to remove the entire row, I want to fill something. So what I can do is I can find out the which particular category is repeated n number of times, more number of times. That category I can replace with the missing value. That is called as replace with mode. For numerical columns, I can replace with mean or the median, right? Or I can go with some random substitution by going for custom substitution value, or I can go with remove entire column if you feel that the column itself is not important to me. Otherwise, you see that, okay, that particular, there's a missing value in a particular column, but I don't want to replace with some value. I want to remove the entire column, the entire row. That's possible. So it's your call in which way you want to operate. Now, each cleansing method will have its own impact on the results. So you can say that if I remove entire row, output is not good. So you can come back and do the other way and see how the results are impacting your cleansing method. So it's an trial and error method. It's right. I cannot say that always removing the entire row will work. Always removing with median will work, or replacing with the median mode will work. It's not like that. It's your call. We need to understand. Is it okay? So for today's session, I'll be saying that I'll be removing the entire row wherever there is a missing values. Right? Can I go ahead? Understood? Any queries here? Or do I need to explain this concept with reference to data? Understood? Yes. Deepti ma'am says done. Understood? Oh, fine. So yes, because we have done this process in the other sessions also, and moving ahead, we'll be doing this repeatedly because without cleansing, I cannot build any ML. So it becomes a mandatory step. So here I'm going with the remove entire row. Do you have any difficulty in understanding any of the features here? Any questions? No?
No.
So you can ask me what is minimum missing value ratio, maximum missing value ratio, if at all you have doubt. Otherwise, we'll say that always you would put a 0 or 1 and go ahead. Right? Shall we close?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what the cleansing method I have used. After cleansing, what I can do is there is one more data cleansing component which is available for changing the data type or for typecasting the data. That is called as edit metadata. Edit metadata. So this is one component which can be used for changing the data type of a particular column or feature, right, which you feel that the feature was not rightly identified by the engine. So to give this edit metadata, first I need to understand, do we have any data which was wrongly interpreted by the machine? First I need to seek that. So I'll go back to the data set, right? Now here, I want to make you understand one simple concept that when you see this education, bachelor's, HS grade, 11th and all, so it is which type of data? Numeric data or categorical data?
Category.
It's a categorical data and it was rightly identified as a string feature. Now, education number, which type of data it is?
Categorical.
It's a categorical data, right? Just for education, I've given some numbers, but still that's a category because if I operate on the numbers, I cannot get some other education level. It's not possible, right? So here I understood that because the machine has seen numbers in its entries, it has detected this particular feature to be as numeric. But based upon my understanding, it is not numeric, it is categorical, right? So I have to update this particular information to the machine. And that is possible by using this particular component called as edit metadata. So this edit metadata is used for typecasting the data types of a particular feature. So I'm connecting it to the clean missing data, right?
How about FNL WGT field?
It's a final weight, yeah. Final weight is again a number. They have tried to give some numbers based upon some labels and all.
Okay, that will be a numeric field.
Yeah, if you feel it's a numeric. If you feel it's a categorical, you have the flexibility to change it.
Okay, why I'm asking this question is I did change it to categorical and ran it based on yesterday's session, and the process did append. It gave an error telling that there are duplicate values, but I removed that, the job worked. So I wanted to understand why did it fail when when I included that field. When I excluded it, like as you did, you included one field, it was running. But when I include that field, it is failing, especially in the down process.
Yeah. Probably that would be because of when you convert into category, right? So obviously there might be some entries which is repeated. So you would have done that before the remove duplicate rows. Got it?
So what happens if it is repeated? A bit unclear. If you can just explain that piece. So what happens if it is? So what happens even if it's repeated? I can have AA to BB two times, right? What will happen?
Yes. So in that case, if when it is repeated, it is not able to understand the relations. So that's why it might be throwing error.
Got it.
Right? So that the sequence matters there. Had you done edit metadata and then remove the duplicate rows, so automatically those things have been taken care of.